What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. So yesterday I put out a video. I just ran through the PlayStation Showcase 2023. I guess that's the name of it, whatever. And all day after the showcase and today I've been looking at Twitter, looking at YouTube, and it seems that the PlayStation the Ponies and the Donkey Unicorns are highly upset. They are highly upset about the trash, I call it trash, showcase that they showed. Not because there weren't any good games or anything like that. I think the main reason is because Sony really didn't show that many games, that many first-party games. And it illustrates the problem that Sony has been having for a while now, but has been hidden behind this fandom. It's been hidden behind these warriors that were protecting Sony and saying, oh, they're the best, they make the best games and all that stuff, right? It's like, oh yeah, okay, sure. They make the best type of one type of game, but when they go and try to do something else, like Fair Play, is that what that called? The Jade Raymond joint from Haven? That's the first game they showed. I'm like, what is this? You know, that's a first party Sony joint because they bought that studio. I'm like, what? Okay, the best game on there was Spider-Man 2, and it was okay. It was like, oh, that's Spider-Man. That looks like a PlayStation 4 game. Honestly, it did look like a PlayStation 4 game. It's just like, they're not doing anything new or extra. And that's why these games are coming out so fast. They're using this, I think, what did they expand into Queens? So they added a little Queens map on there, but then they have the rest of New York, I would assume. So it's smart in order to get more content out, but that's not what, Spider-Man is not a living game. It's not a game as a service. So when you put out a Spider-Man 2, and most of it is Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man Miles Morales smashed together and a couple of little extra parts of a map added on. And of course, you know, the story and stuff. But honestly, like I said yesterday, it looked like something out of Uncharted. You know, like when Nathan Drake is swinging on and he crashes through the thing with the bridge and stuff. And then he's on behind chasing the Jeeps and stuff, the mud and stuff. It's like the same. Did they just literally go over to Naughty Dog and say, hey, how'd y'all do that? Remember that part in Uncharted? How'd y'all do that? Yeah, we're going to do that in Spider-Man. We're going to do that in Spider-Man. Miles Morales is going to be flipping and flapping on the water. He's going to be water skiing. It's going to be great. Now, inherently, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a set piece. But from playing Sunset Overdrive, which didn't really have that many set pieces. It was boss battles and maybe a little bit of, maybe barely, but not as much as Spider-Man. Spider-Man, they go crazy with it. And so looking at the loop of a Sunset Overdrive directly translates to Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales and Spider-Man 2. The only differentiation between those games is the story and who you beating up. And with the Venom powers, with the symbiote powers, not the Venom powers, but with the symbiote powers, sure, you can, it's different stuff. It's a different level build. They added some stuff, but it is fundamentally the same game. It's the same problem that the Arkham games were running into after the first and second game, because it got tired, it got bored. They cannot make a Spider-Man 3 and act like it's fresh and brand new, because it's not. Unless he's going to Florida or something. Okay, don't go to Florida. Unless he's going to some other place. Tokyo would be cool. Spider-Man in Tokyo. You know what? That might be all right. That'd be bad. But anyway, I'm just saying, this isn't about Spider-Man. This is about the whole of the internet freaking out. I mean, MBG, Muscle Bound Gamer's over there crying with his freaking Metal Gear Solid cosplay on, his little wig and stuff. And he's over there, man. Everybody's sad. Everybody's sad. The only people who weren't sad were IGN. But they put on a front because they want to get free stuff from Sony. So they can't be critical. And that's why IGN is trash. I'm not saying the people that work there are trash. I'm just saying that their bottom line dictates how they treat everything, especially from Sony. So you can't really look at IGN as a place for honest reviews or honest takes on, you know, things. I would say Sony and Nintendo, they can poo-poo on Xbox all they want, because, you know, they got Ryan McCaffrey up there. He's getting stressed out because he's reviews editor, I think. And so the thing about him, I saw this I was listening to a podcast, and he said something. It was like a backhanded, it wasn't even a compliment. It was a backhanded statement that he said where, oh no, it was a backhanded compliment. And he said something like, I can't remember what the exact quote was, but I was like, wow. It's like, well, at least you did something. So it was pertaining to something that Microsoft did. And I was like, you know, Sony doesn't get this treatment. I mean, they did now, because people are realizing, oh, Sony's full of shite. They don't have any games. They got Spider-Man. Where's Wolverine? Where was Wolverine? Where was Factions? Where's Factions? Where's The Last of Us Factions? That game should have came out with The Last of Us Part 2. How many years ago are we past that now? Many years. And that game still ain't ready? And there was another game that I don't remember, because whack. Like, who cares? Look, I've been telling y'all this for so long. As Sony is dealing in smoke and mirrors a lot of the time. Did you go back and watch the little segments where Jim Ryan comes up and says, oh, we're PlayStation fantastic. He says all this stuff. It's the same crap that he's been saying every time he comes out and does something on for like a, whatchamacallit, like a, you know, one of these things where he talks into the camera. It's the same thing. I think it's the same script. I need to cut them all together because they sound exactly the same. I like same cadence, same verbiage. He said nothing new. Only thing he said new is the PlayStation Q, whatever. I'm like, that's the stupidest thing. Look, Sony's a hardware company. They are so misguided right now. Earbuds? Who wants PlayStation earbuds? Not regular people. Not people who already have earbuds. How much you going to bet that they're going to cost like $200 for them damn it? How much do you want to bet that those $20 earbuds are going to cost $200? I will guarantee you that, because that's how they make their money. And that stupid Q, or whatever it's called, the streaming hand, it's like a Wii U tablet. You might as well call the PlayStation 5 a PlayStation PU. It's just, look, I knew Sony was going in the wrong direction at the beginning of this generation. Just based off of the design of the PlayStation 5, I was like, why is it so big? They don't know what they're doing, because they're a hardware company and they make worse hardware than the software company. The software company is basically showing them how to make hardware. And the fact that they had to change things, I know I'm getting a little bit of tangent. They had to change things for the PlayStation 5 to overclock it to have it compete power-wise with the Xbox, even though they don't really compete with power-wise. They're just, they put a Band-Aid on it, and it's a costly Band-Aid, because it informed the design of the PlayStation 5. That's why the PlayStation 5 is so big, because they had to overclock it and put liquid metal in it to cool it, because they're overclocking it in order for it to keep up pace with the Xbox. And so now they are gaining the ability to shrink it down. Will they? Who knows? Who cares at this point? Because people have accepted the giant, monstrous, very unappealing design of the PlayStation 5. Now, they'll come up with another one that will be smaller and sleeker, and people are like, oh, I'm gonna double dip, I'm gonna get another one. And I heard rumors about a PlayStation 5 Pro costing $600, $700. This is 575 pounds or something, which was equivalent to, I think, $700 or something, USD. And I'm like, who would pay $700 for a PlayStation? Come on, son. I already know that that's a dumb move. The stupid little streaming handheld, dumb move. And the earbuds is just why. And look, I don't have the energy to try to figure out why they're doing this, going this route, or why they think these products are a good idea. Sony has a history of having a lot of very, very, very expensive products that don't sell that well. Now, they probably don't make that many because they know that there's some whales out there who just love PlayStation and they'll buy whatever Sony puts out. And so maybe they have some calculus on that and they say, well, if we just make 500 of them, or 20,000, we'll sell them all and then that'll be that. And they'll make their money back, I guess. I don't know. There's all kind of math when it comes to all these products and stuff. So, and I'm not gonna pretend that I know, but this showcased that Sony is in trouble, and that's the reaction. That's why all these reactions are coming out from PlayStation Pony fanboy Donkey Unicorns, because they see it. They see what I've been saying for years. I'm like, y'all keep praising this company and keep praising these people, and they are doing the bare minimum. The hubris is catching up with them. They thought that they were the best. Oh, high, first in class, this and that. Yeah, Well, it don't matter if you say it's first in class and then you show a trashy ass showcase, and you call it a PlayStation showcase. It's literally half the games are multiplats. And then Xbox comes not 2 seconds later. Oh, look at these games are looking good. I forgot what the tweet was, but they showed like 14 of the games that were on the showcase. There were 34, and they were all multiplats. And I'm like, well, since the Xbox is the more powerful console, then it would stand to believe, if these developers are above board and Sony didn't pay all these devs, which is a lot of money if you think about all those third party, them paying for not exclusivity, but to keep it off of Game Pass, and to optimize for PlayStation first. And then I would say a lot of these companies, if they have the ability, they will prioritize PC and then consoles afterwards. So PC and whatever console is easier to accommodate PC, which I believe the Xbox is closer to PC as far as speeds go. I think that's one of the reasons why Xbox kind of did it that way. They didn't want to be too bespoke away from the PC, because they have always been, well, not always, but they have been since last generation, since Phil came along, like, yo, PC, day one X console and PC, because there are more people. It's more units to sell. It just makes, fiscally, it makes sense. Financially, it makes sense for them to have a wider player base day one. For Sony, they don't get it. They don't get it. Now they're getting it, but they still don't get it because they're delaying it. He literally said, it was a quote, I don't know where they got it, but it was a Jim Ryan quote where he said, our players feel it is adequate, or no, he didn't say adequate, but he said something where it's okay by the gamers that the games are delayed by a year or 2 or 3. And I'm like, I don't know who you asked, but I guess as long as there's a Sad Dad walking simulator that isn't a multiplayer games of service, you notice no dates. Did you notice that? I noticed that. And they're very slick, PlayStation is, because they say only on PlayStation in some of their, I think on the Bungie stuff, on Marathon. Marathon is multiplat. Destiny is multiplat. They put only on PlayStation, referring to not being on PlayStation 4. But when you say only on PlayStation, that can be misconstrued as exclusive. You have to have a PlayStation 5 to play it. And that's some sneaky ass stuff right there. That's some sneaky ass shite. And I don't appreciate that. I understood it. I understood what they were doing. But when, the part of my brain where I just saw it and said, that makes it look like it's just on PlayStation 5, when that's not what it is. And they have that loophole. It's all semantics, but they have that loophole where they can't get sued for saying something like that because they were referring to PlayStation 4. And I don't like stuff like that. That's being misleading. That's literally being purposely misleading the public. And who wants to do business with a company like that? You know? Is that how they win? Is that how they stay number one? Is that how they maintain lead? By tricking people, fooling people, being disingenuous? I don't want nothing to do with that. I'm looking at Spider-Man Miles 2, I can't remember. They're all the same. I'm looking at Spider-Man 2, I'm like, I'm gonna just probably watch the game on YouTube. I'm gonna watch the cutscenes. I don't need to play that because it's the same gameplay. And some people are like, yo, this don't even look like a PlayStation 5 game. This looks like a PlayStation 4 game. You know why? Because they're using the same API as the PlayStation 4. I mean, the frame rate's probably higher. Maybe they have some, ray trace reflections or something. Maybe, if you're lucky. But literally, all these games are still PlayStation 4 games. The DNA, the backbone of these games are still PlayStation 4. That's why they're coming out so fast. Because they're not utilizing the full potential of the PlayStation 5 because they're still using the old tools. Anyway. I appreciate y'all hanging out. Oh my gosh. Let me know in the comments, man. This showcase was it was disappointing, and I'm glad it was because Sony needs to realize that their position in the industry is based off of what the PlayStation 4 did, not what PlayStation 5 is doing, because they're constantly losing face. They're constantly losing ground, but from Xbox and from Nintendo. Nintendo is beasting, even though it looks like trash and they have performance issues with Zelda. It doesn't matter if they're selling 10 million units in freaking 2 days or whatever it was. It doesn't matter. So, and I don't agree with a lot of the things Nintendo do either, but that's a whole nother thing. But this is about Sony, and like I said, their hubris. And the fact that they still have hubris. They still have that hubris. And until they wake up and see what the industry is, to see what it has become, they have groomed their fans to expect a certain quality of game. They have done that themselves. And they say it when they speak, first in class, quality, AAA game. They say, and the Ponies and the Donkey Unicorns hear it and they believe the hype. And it is impossible to maintain that. Sean Layden said it. Before he got fired, Sean Layden said, we cannot maintain this level of production for these games. They're too expensive, blah, 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 blah. Insomniac are geniuses because they figured out a way to fool millions of people into thinking they're making sequels when they're just making add-ons. Seriously. Whatever. I mean, that's if you look at the games. God of War did it. Horizon Forbidden West kind of did it. Not really. I think that's more of a, but it's a different map, but it's a sequel, whatever. I'll give that a pass. Spider-Man did it, Miles Morales and Spider-Man 2. How many times are they gonna reuse the same map? Okay, I'm sorry, this is getting too long. I appreciate y'all. Let me know in the comments below. How do you rate this showcase after 2 years of not having one? This is what they give you. How do you rate it? What do you think they did wrong? What do you think they should have done? And yeah, let me know in the comments. And are you hyped for the Xbox showcase? Because right now I am. Because this set the table and I'm like, yo, these advertisers was whack. Bring the main course and the dessert. The Xbox is the main course and then the Bethesda is the dessert. I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all on the next one. Took the wait.